Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey, and you're rocking with the best. Show the love. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone that's out there and that's celebrating it, of course. E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on and fall in with us this morning as we get to talk about some of the things that have gone over the last 24 hours in or around sports. A bevy of things, of course, going on that has happened. Of course, first and foremost, we want to send love, condolences out to the family members of those that were affected by the mass shooting in the Michigan State University area, as 3 people have been killed and 5 critically injured. As of course, in the waking hours last night, uh, a mass shooter, unbeknownst to um, anyone, what the reasons were for, but in any case, it did happen. I believe he was apprehended, and of course, the investigation will take place. So, of course, condolences out to those people. Tragic event. Till further notice, at least I know this week, the Michigan State University athletic events have been canceled. You know, we're getting to close to the point to where they were supposed to have a game, I believe, tonight or Wednesday night. That has been canceled. We're getting close now that we have the March Madness is upon us, just around the corner. So the critical games are, of course, upon us as well. Not sure if they're going to play any games in which they don't get a chance to play this weekend or this week or the weekend while they have been canceled. But of course, it's pale in comparison when you think about it, um, to the loss of life or anything like that. Um, so again, condolences, prayers to those family members of the loss, or the hurt. Additionally, as well, taking consideration those completely affected because it hits in a whole different way. Um, so of course, again, prayers going out. What's going on, Miss Kanique? Good morning to you. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, sis. Hope you're enjoying your day. Uh, Before y'all get to asking me, I don't know where my counterpart is. He, still a little APB that's out there. Maybe he shows up today. I mean, maybe he had a good reason for not showing up yesterday. Um, does he owe us a reason? I don't know. I mean, it happens like that sometimes. Sometimes we just don't pull up for things, and it was effective. Especially when you got to look at it about all the conversation, all the talking that went on. Um, Maybe he spent yesterday finding some things. Quiz. What's good, Commissioner Myers? Glad to have you information with us this morning, sir. How you doing? How you doing? Um, but maybe he spent yesterday analyzing the situation. Maybe he watched the Super Bowl all over again to find the holes, recorded and sent those discrepancies to sir excuse me, to Sirianni, to be like, yo, this is where you was a clear miss here, yada yada yada. Who knows? It could be any of those things, or it could just be, saying he had to chill for a second. But I'm sure at some point, possibly, he will be back and will face uh, whatever it is that y'all have for him when he pulls back up. So, hey, Stranger things have happened. Um, what's interesting though is the Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl 57 was termed to be one of the third most watched Super Bowl in the NFL Super Bowl history, with 113 million viewers viewing the event. That's including Fox and Fox Deportes, which of course is the Latin subsidiary to Fox Sports, Fox News, as well as some of the different streaming outlets. So the Nielsen figures cap that. Of course, what two are ahead of that, ahead of this particular game? You have, of course, the 2015 New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks game that was aired on NBC that collected 114,442 viewers, not including streaming. So that streaming wasn't a hot thing. If you think about back in 2015 when the Seahawks and the Patriots played one another, that was the number one. That's number one when it comes to streaming. So just a little over 1 million. I think he did, Commissioner Myers. I really think he did, which is the interesting thing. That could be another reason. I mean, if he guaranteed to win and so on and so forth, and believing he was on a high horse, in my opinion, talking about it. Like I kept on trying to reiterate to him, did he feel comfortable with how they won the NFC Championship game? And I was trying to get to him to basically just say, no, I was not comfortable with it, but I take it because I would have too if that was the case. But the number one team in the NFC wasn't that much in comparison to them. It's just they fell on a little bit of unluckiness, I guess you could say. And so I think it didn't properly prepare Philadelphia for what they were going to see. In any way, form, or fashion. Not saying that Brock Purdy is a clone of Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, but they wasn't giving any adversity going into that game. It was like a false sense of security, which they got, and that's just what it came out to be. And I think it was damning to them to believe that if they believe that they just ran over San Francisco in that manner, they should have been wrong for thinking that. I hope they was understanding and fully recognize and put it in perspective that they wasn't challenged due to a bevy of things. But if they just went ahead and was smothering themselves and believe like, okay, we are good, what I'm saying, we are the most dominant force, we're the Shaq of the NFL right now, then it was their own fault. How would I have felt comfortable? Would I have kept the talk to a minimum? All be fools goal sucks. It does, Commissioner Myers. And what I'm saying, everyone, you can't tell everyone. The old Monica, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. That just became that may have been it. But I don't want to speculate too much. I want Bishop to come and state his case and be here to sit up and say, yes, this is what it was. This is what I thought. This is what I believe. Just like we had a couple of people come tap in yesterday to come in. Of course, Tanya, shout out to Tanya. She came in and stated her piece. Steve, he came in. He stated his piece. I see Key, where you at? Bishop, you're another one. Key and Bishop. Ron, all them Philly heads. I haven't heard from them. I haven't seen them. They missing. Haven't spoken on it. But I mean, in any case, I get it. I completely get it. Just got to come. Like I had to sit up and face the Piper that morning after San Francisco begrudgingly got smacked up. So it happens that way. What's good, Leslie? How you doing this morning, sir? Glad to see you in formation. Hope everything's going good with you. so Phillies coach. So Nick Sirianni, okay. You said I would not have felt comfortable. Would I have kept or talked to a minimum? Uh, so I think he did for Serrani. I think he did what he did. Basically, he felt like a certain type of way, and honestly, I keep on doing it. Like I was saying, it was just a matter of I hope he didn't feel that they were just going to be the superior team after what they went through. Of course, they was the number one seed in the NFC. Great. I think he started feeling himself at halftime uh, up on them by 10 points at halftime. They're probably looking out to continue to close dominance. And that's the thing in which I continue to look at. Like, it wasn't like Serrani, in my opinion, wasn't just outcoached by Reed. I think he was outcoached by the enemy. I won't even necessarily say Mahomes complete. Well, yeah, Mahomes outplayed him too in the sense because Mahomes came back through 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns. Came back in two touchdowns. They had the defensive situation going on, so it was just a whole lot going on in which Philadelphia never truly answered. I didn't have a answer for, and so it goes to show in just a little over 113 million people witnessed it. As you're saying, and secondly, of course, so like I said, 2015 Super Bowl most viewed, and then Super Bowl 51, the Atlanta New England Super Bowl, was a viewing of 113,668,000 views. And so this one was the second most viewed Super Bowl with 13 million viewers. So, and was it to view Patrick Mahomes? Was it to view 2 African American quarterbacks first time in a Super Bowl history? Was it the view? Was it the hate of the Philadelphia Eagles that allowed them for everyone to pull up and take a look at this? We probably would never know. I just want to know Mr. Sean Davis's, aka Bishop's, take on what went on Sunday. What was going through his head as he watched the debacle start to happen? I just want to know his take on it. Honestly, I'm concerned for my counterpart. Additionally, what were some other NFL conversation? Like Donovan mentioned of above earlier, the Eagles' offensive coordinator leaves the Eagles' offense to take up the head coaching mantle with the Indianapolis Colts. Now they will be. It was a tale. It really was, Leslie. It was a tale of 2 different halves. But like I said, the Colts now have a head coach. I think there's one job left out there, and that being the one job left out there. I think that's being the Arizona Cardinals position. I think that's available. But now Shane Steichen has been hired on as the head coach for the Carolina Panthers. Correction, not the Carolina Panthers. The head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. What's good, Anthony Price? How you doing, sir? Glad to have information with us this morning. What's good, man? What's going on, brother? What up, Eric? What's good, man? Glad to have information with us this morning as well. So now with Steichen in the case, everyone for the most part, I think the only job that remains is the only head coaching position that remains is that for the Arizona Cardinals. That's the only position that remains. Of course, some of the conversation that comes up when you talk about more coaching, Eric Bieniemy, who did a hell of a job, as we stated earlier, out coaching Nick Sirianni in the waking moments, to put in some key plays that helped to eradicate, I guess you could say, the Philadelphia defense from being effective or getting a hand on Patrick Mahomes. He's expected to potentially leave Kansas City and maybe take up another offensive coordinator's job in another team. I don't know what you guys think of that. It's shit crazy how nobody wants the Arizona job. Uh, they got to play in the NFC West. And then not to mention that they're probably will have another downtrodden season because Kyler Murray isn't due to come back till like the middle of the season. So now they got to go a couple of games without Kyler Murray, their franchise quarterback, and make it work. So it's a lot that could potentially be going on there. I think I said satire, saying they tested Mahomes after the game for illegal drugs and he failed. I think that was just clickbait, Leslie. I don't think, because I know I've seen it where they try to say that he was being tested due to the fact that because of the injury, and see did he receive some type of growth hormone. I haven't seen any clear, valid, credible source talking about that. So of course that's a little bit different. Or it will hit if it will. It would have been all over the place if that was the case. So yet, saying that we know that's not the truth, honestly. But I'm not saying that they didn't test him. They possibly did or may. I don't know. But definitely not. Kansas City isn't getting stripped. Oh, wouldn't Philly fans love that? Where else were you? What else where was I at? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Philadelphia. I mean, not Philadelphia. Arizona. So Arizona job, it could be that it might be someone might be skeptical or wasn't to take over at that time and still know or at least understand that they have things in place that's going to protect them at least the first year, especially with the franchise quarterback not available at that time. So that could be some of the reason why Arizona hasn't filled the position, or there's some remorses being played. Of course, people have interviewed for the position, so there's not like it's not like they're not going to be with out a coach. It's just they got to take a look. So I don't. And remember at the end of his interview or the post game interview, Andy Reid said he's not going nowhere. He figured he's going to be around. Last year there was a situation to where Eric Bieniemy was nearly not retained by the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid, and it was stated that he was given one more year, most likely for him to come back, and then after he comes back, potentially win a Super Bowl, and then hopefully get another opportunity to be picked up as a head coach. Now, the only position that remains, like we was just talking about, as far as a head coach, is the Arizona job, and I don't remember seeing anything where it said Eric Bieniemy interviewed for that position. So, of course, that means he's not out for that position, which means potentially he will have to go into another OC position or interview for the OC position to see where he's going to fall. In terms him being, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Him being out that position now has to be filled by someone else, which I'm very sure Andy Reid has somebody has somebody in mind, or maybe not filled it with anybody. He continued to call, and he goes into calling plays for it, and then he just basically has office of some passing game coordinators or something like that. So it remains to be seen. But I just feel a certain type of way sometimes about a person. I guess it gotta happen sometimes because it happens in everyday life. Sometimes you have to move laterally to get into a position that puts you in a better play to move up, in which now we have the potential for and where now Derek Carr. No, I'm sorry, Derek Carr. And now that Eric Bieniemy might have to become offensive coordinator for another franchise, um, do a little more. It's a couple of them out there. I think the Tennessee. Well, no, Tennessee just hired a offensive coordinator. Um, I know they keep on talking about the talks of him potentially moving on and getting into the Baltimore Raven organization. Still in the AFC, just basically moving to a different division. So these things are comes up. Casey might be a dynasty right now. Nah, I don't give them dynasty yet. They pushing on something. Definitely a different situation to for when you look at Mahomes, 3 Super Bowls. I mean, 2 Super Bowls, one. Uh, been to 3 of them, won two in his time frame, three in the short time. So you gotta take it. You gotta start to look at that. Mahomes might be challenging Brady for his GOAT status in case he keeps winning like this. The worst head coaching job, host head coach Matt Nagy, but a ring now. That shows when you get a fresh start, you do better. And you know, saying it happens like that, Anthony. So, uh, and sometimes that ring is what gets people those jobs, is potentially. So it could be that maybe Eric B. You would have thought Eric B. would have got a job. Like he's coached, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings as a offensive coordinator, I believe. Yeah, I think he's got 2 Super Bowl rings as an offensive coordinator. Uh, but again, what does he look like without Patrick Mahomes? And that I think that takes that makes a difference too. Like if he's won those Super Bowls and he's got a lot of his degree of his success based off of Patrick Mahomes. No much, not too much different from Byron Leftwich, who also is another person that's out there, offensive coordinator, um, in which he was with. I mean, but then again, Brian Leftwich did it with. Um, he had Jameis Winston at one point. Then he got Tom Brady. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. We'll have to see how it goes. What transitions from there. If it's going to be any more head coaching position. I mean, if so, who's going to get the head coaching position in Arizona, and then they go from there. Still some offensive coordinator jobs out there, of course. One thing recently that just happened is the um, the Jets added another um, player, another coach to their organization, bringing in Todd Downing, who was the former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator. Um, Ty Downing, of course, is now the passing game coordinator for the New York Jets. But interestingly enough, Ty Downing always also has connections to Ryan Tannehill and the Derek Carr. As of course, we know Derek Carr is expected to be released today from the officially from the Las Vegas Raiders due to he went and saw an interview, talk with the New Orleans Saints in reference to potentially signing with the Saints or to getting a trade, being a part of a trade that would have took him to the Saints. In-state Carr came back to the Raiders and said he would not accept the trade to the Saints. I think mainly due to the fact of they were asking him to take a pay cut, and it just wasn't something which Carr was going to do. Additionally, Carr said he wasn't going to accept any trade whatsoever or have a conversation with anyone else in reference to being traded, and he basically wants to be cut. Well, not saying he wants to be cut, but of course that's what the outcome is going to be. He has to be cut in order to for the Raiders to avoid picking up a $40 million price tag on a player that they're not going to potentially have in their future for the following year. So it's just an unfortunate situation. Derek Carr in a Raiders uniform, 9 years. And then you bring in a coach that just him and that coach just aren't meshing. They even went in and brought in Devontae Adams, who was expected to probably be a good fit for Carr for them to reconnect, but it just didn't pan out. In my opinion, based on what McDaniels wanted to do and what Carr's um, strengths are, it wasn't a mesh. And usually, of course, when a coach comes in, he always wants his quarterback. He tries to work with said quarterback that's there before, but they want their quarterback. And after a year of dismay, I guess you could say, because you just got to look at it, man. In my opinion, the Raiders have not been the most successful, but they haven't been bad in the last couple of years. Um, Given if they had people to play with. McDaniel comes in, and then we have a problem with Carr. It's obvious that it wasn't even one, he wasn't their quarterback, or two, Carr just couldn't do what he couldn't master McDaniel's offense or the coordinator's offense. So now they got to go find somebody that can, that's more creative in the image of that. And I wonder, is that Garoppolo? Do we get another Garoppolo meeting with Daniels, or what exactly is going to be that play out? Interestingly enough, but currently, like I said, Ty Downing is in New York, as New York is potentially looking for more of a veteran quarterback presence, as it wasn't too efficient with once you couldn't get into what was a proficient enough swing of things with Zach Wilson. Now, I don't think they're playing Zach Wilson out, pimping it out like that, but I do think he's going to take a step back in the offense, and they're going to try to get someone in there that could be a little more productive. So now, like I said, Downey, he was with the Raiders. He was a quarterback coach at the Raiders in 2015 and 16, and then he became their coordinator, in which Carr went to 3 Pro Bowls, and so Carr, we know Carr becoming a free agent in the coming hours, I'm sure. As of tomorrow, he will be afforded that $40 million from the Raiders if he is still in their organization. So now you have time to, and then of course Tannehill, because Downing was just offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. So we're going to see where that goes. Of course, is it going to be effective? Is that a tale that they're building for something to potentially bring in somebody that's more conducive to one of those two players? Tennessee might be looking to move on from Ryan Tannehill. Does he pick up the green? Does he pick up the green and white, or is the Carr go to rock green and white? We know Carr is not going to go to New Orleans, so that's out. So it remains to be seen. We definitely get a chance to see that at some point. Excuse me. Of course, you still have the opportunity, the potential for Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what that situation is. We know Aaron Rodgers is currently at a retreat when he's basically trying to get away from all the conversations and the everything. The back in the expectancy is that he'd come back from his retreat and will make a determination or decision what he would like to happen. I can say that what he wants to do, but it's not about what he wants to do. The only thing that Aaron Rodgers controls for the most part is whether or not he will continue to play or he will retire. I don't think he has a no trade clause in his contract. So I think the no trade clause was the price of his contract, $60 million expected to be earned this year. So whomever he quarterbacks for next, whether it be Green Bay or any other team, is going to be a hefty price tag. So that might have been his no trade clause. So a lot of quarterbacks that's out there potentially to see where it's going from there. We all know Nathaniel Hackett. That's another thing. Nathaniel Hackett was offensive coordinator with Green Bay when Aaron Rodgers was there. So that could be a unification, a reunion of sorts. It remains to be seen. What else do we have going on in the NFL? Interesting fact. Like I was taking a look. I was taking a look at some of the I was taking a look at some of the some stats. And so earlier someone asked, it was Leslie, I think. Nah, he's not going to New Orleans. I think if he was going to New Orleans, he would have been there already. He's not going to New Orleans. So interesting stats, right? I was looking at the conversation. Well, before I move on. Right, before I move on. So talking about that carousel that's coming up in quarterbacks, of course, we know Aaron Rodgers potentially could be moving. Lamar Jackson possibly, depending on what goes on in his situation as a Jet, if he's going to. I know it was talks supposedly that started, and it was said that that the Ravens and Lamar Jackson's representation found that they were $100 million in variance between what they might be offering and what it is he wanted. So definitely a situation to keep watching. Additionally, we know Derek Carr, of course, as we stated, expected to get released sometime today. Daniel Jones, he's a free agent. They didn't pick up the Giants. They could pick up his fifth-year option this past year, so he's expected to be a free agent. Where does he end up? Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, another one that's out there. Is it a possibility to bring Jimmy back to San Francisco, even with all the things in which happened? Is there enough there for them to basically keep that spark going? Geno Smith is going to be a free agent this year. Possibly they will be in conversation and talks. Baker Mayfield, additionally, we know Baker was picked up by the Los Angeles Rams late in the season. So we can see, is he going to be stay in Los Angeles as a backup to Matt Stafford, or does he go ahead and go on the greener pastures? Mike White was serviceable in relief of Zach Wilson, but is Mike White that dude, honestly? And then, of course, you don't know that. So, just a couple of things, of course, where places in which we think any of these guys can end up. Mike White, I don't think he's going to be at the side after that much. I think if anything, Mike White is going to be a backup somewhere, which could be anywhere for that fact of the matter. Of course, with the situation that just happened in San Francisco, with the third street coming in to be effective, you know it can happen, but it's like, does it happen for your organization in the same circumstances? So we don't know. So I don't know where Mike White can end up. I just think if he goes anywhere, he'll be a backup. He may stay in New York. Or he could maybe just stay unsigned and becomes that person that someone scoops up at the point in which they need somebody, like what would have been did had the 49ers potentially instead of Josh Johnson. Baker Mayfield, I potentially think that Baker stays in Los Angeles and backs up Stafford, potentially depending on what Stafford's status is coming back. Baker Mayfield may even start for the Rams, so that's a possibility, I think. Additionally, Geno Smith, I think he resigns with the Seattle Seahawks and just stays in that system and runs it back another year. Of course, if he puts up similar type numbers, that goes to show that he is the real deal and that it wasn't just a fluke. And we can do that. Of course, people are going to be checking for him now with that year under his belt, know what he's capable of. I think he's going to continue to people are going to pay more attention to him. So it might just be a little bit different. Jimmy Garoppolo, as the fourth stated, I think Jimmy is going to end up, as much as I honestly would like him to stay in San Francisco, I think Jimmy is going to become a Raider. I really do think he's going to end up in Las Vegas, back with McDaniels. I'm not going to say, but with a good run game in Josh Jacobs, a hell of a receiver in and Devontae Adams. Additionally, a good tight end in Waller. I think you add another wide receiver piece, even though they do have Renfro. So you do have a player in the image of a Julius Edelman, Wes Welker type that he was lacking in San Francisco to work the intermediate, short and distances and stuff like that. So you have that, and then maybe another piece, another burner. I know you have Zay Jones in San Francisco, in Oakley. I mean, correct me. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I do have Zay Jones in Las Vegas, so that might be an offense in which Jimmy could be very efficient in. Um, Daniel Jones, I think he stays in New York and continues to get them back in order. I don't foresee him going anywhere else. I would be surprised if he went anywhere else. Derek Carr. I think Derek potentially ends up in New York, the Jets. I think he ends up with the Jets. I think they're building the runway for him and just going to wait for him to land. Lamar Jackson, ultimately, I think signs, gets the contract that he wants, or at least from some type of contract similar to what he wants, and he stays in Baltimore. Hopefully, under pretense that they're going to bring in more help for him. Who else? Of course, and lastly, Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers' price tag is going to be too hefty for anyone to take on or wanting to take on, and he's going to stay in Green Bay. So that's what I think about the coaching carousel. I mean, the quarterback carousel potentially about to take place. Just was not here. I asked you, they going to pay Hurts. And Eagles have 21 free agents. Last time you see the Eagles in the Super Bowl for a while. So they're going to pay Hurts without a doubt, of course. He's still young. He's taking them to the Super Bowl within 3 years of his existence. Something similar to what we see out of Patrick Mahomes. I don't foresee that they're going to let Hurts walk. He's going to get paid. He might get franchise tag just to start, get him a deal, and after getting him that deal, they go ahead and move on from there. But they do have a lot of key free agents, like we said, Kelsey, Sanders, Scott, some people, Bradbury, all these people that was on these 1-year contracts basically come in as a renter to see what it would be like. Now they have to potentially play these players or let them walk, potentially walk onto your foes. So it might be a little crazy for free agency. We got a month to see. Free agency kicks off in March. So we'll be able to see what that looks like in a couple of months. What else additionally? Is that all I have? Oh, I was going to talk about a stat. So I came across a stat yesterday in which it, of course, using this stat brings a comparison of what potentially do we see in the when it comes down to the difference in or the comparison of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, in which they compared them both at the age of 27. At the age of 27, Tom Brady has secured 2 rings, 2 Pro Bowls, 2 MVP trophies, thrown 97 touchdowns for 13,919 yards. With 52 interceptions. Those are Tom Brady's numbers. Again, 2 rings, 2 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 97 touchdowns with 13,919 yards and 52 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes' numbers at the age of 27. 2 rings, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 192 touchdowns, 2 MVP trophies, 49 interceptions, 1 Offensive Player of the Year accolade, 24,241 yards, and 2 first-team All-Pro selections in the at the age of 27. Now, when you look at these stats, can we say that this is a clear and concise way of being like Patrick Mahomes is a GOAT in his own right, or the making of a GOAT? My personal opinion is that it's kind of hard to say due to the fact that Patrick Mahomes is playing in a different era in which Brady played in. The passing game is exquisitely exclusive in this, as we see over 11,000 yards passing at the same time, which has afforded him the opportunity to put up the yards. Almost over 100 receiving touchdowns in that time frame. Same amount of rings and Super Bowls, as well as Super Bowl MVP. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But I guess it's the comparison isn't too far off, I guess. So, of course, you have that future GOAT in the making. Get y'all Matt Mahomes rookie card now. Donovan, do you have a Mahomes rookie card? If you take the ring away and use the talent, only Patrick Mahomes is way better. Again, 2 different eras, I think, that has to be taken into consideration. Patrick Mahomes came from the air raid offense, or the air raid mentality, that Mike Leach type air raid offense where he puts the ball out. Airs it out. Tom Brady was a little bit different. Of course, different in New England as well. Moving on to you did, Galmore. You stated that Kansas City was going to win. You did say that. But it was some other people that said it, but you definitely did say that. So last night, 11. No problem, Galmore. So last night's game, of course, 11 games played. Some good, some bad. In-state is victories were amassed last night. 11 games played. We're going to count them off, starting with the first one, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the San Antonio Spurs, as the Cavaliers were victorious on their home floor, winning a score of 117 to 109. In their losing effort, of course, Keldon Johnson still put in the work, scored 25 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 18 points, 1 rebounds, 2 assists from Malachi Branham, 12 points from Devontae Graham, newly acquired 12 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists from Blakely Wesley. Batesy Diop, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jeremy Socon, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Zach Collins, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Charles Bassett, 6 points, 8 rebounds, all from a losing effort for the Cavaliers. It was led by Donovan Mitchell's 41 piece, 3 rebounds, 5 assists to go on the side. 16 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists from Darius Garland. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist. Evan Mobley, 17 points, 11 rebounds from Jared Allen. Isaac Oroku contributed with 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Karis LeVert, 4 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. 8 points from C.D. Osman. Dean Wade contributed with 2 points, 2 rebounds. And Rufy Rubio, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. As the Cavaliers were victorious, 117 to 109, improving to 38 and 22 on the season, as the Spurs dropped to a measly 14 and 44, 30 games below 500, and looking at hitting the rock bottom in the West. Next game, of course, the Utah Jazz faced off against the Indiana Pacers in Indiana, in which the Pacers were not able to defend the home court. All-star select Tyrese Halliburton, 30 points, rocking the team tray out of Tyrese Halliburton, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist on the night. Benedict Mathurin, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists from Isaiah Jackson, 19 points, 6 rebounds from Aaron Nesmith, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists from Buddy Hield, 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists from TJ McConnell. Jordan Nwora contribute with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Daniel Theis, 5 points, 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. For the West, of course, Lauri Markkanen, another team trade representative, currently moved up into the starting lineup, drops 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists, not to be outdone, however, completely by Jordan Clarkson, who as well drops 29 points, 1 rebounds, 3 assists. Kelly Olynyk, a double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 18 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists from Colin Sexton. Tyler Horton Tucker contributed with 7.7 assists and 2 rebounds, 4 points apiece from Rudy Gay and Aduka Azubuike, not 4.9 rebounds for Abuke. Gay with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Simone with 1 rebound and assist, and Ochai Agibaji, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, all in the and Walker Kessler lastly 6 points, 5 rebounds in 19 minutes. Of course, we know Russell Westbrook currently is missing, as he's supposed to come back potentially after the All-Star break, after it is understood or made to see what they're going to plan to do with him. Is he going to retire? Is he going to be bought out? Is he going to play for Utah? In time, Utah did come on and say that they were trying to give more minutes to the younger core, and so that could potentially leave Russell Westbrook without any playing time. Atlanta Hawks, another high-scoring affair, as the Hawks were hosted by the Charlotte Hornets, in which the Charlotte Hornets are able to drop the Hawks to a 500 record at 29-29 with the 144-138 dub. The Hawks, in their losing effort, were led by Trae Young's 25 points, 2 rebounds, and 14 assists. Another 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists from Clint Capella. DeAndre Hunter, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 12 points from Sadiq Bey as he's makes his appearance. Onyeka Okongwu, 12.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 9 points, 1 rebound from Jalen Johnson. AJ Griffin, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. DeJounte Murray, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. With the 1, 2, 6, 7 players in double figures, correct, it wasn't enough. As the Hornets, 30-piece by LaMelo Ball, 15 assists and 6 rebounds to go with that. 29 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists from Terry Rozier. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists from Gordon Hayward. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists from P.J. Washington. And then, of course, contributions from Mark Williams with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 12 points, 1 rebound, 12 assists from Dennis Smith, and then contributions from Nick Richards and Bryce Goins with 4 and 6 apiece, respectively. The win improves the Charlotte Hornets to a 16-43 record. As I stated before, the Hawks dropped to 29-29 on the year in the midst of a playoff race. Additionally, last night, a play between teams with players and former teams. The Philadelphia 76ers hosted the Houston Rockets, in which I guess it was vindicating for James Harden as his old team comes to town and gets smacked up a little bit. Jalen Green, they lose an effort, 29 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 15.7 rebounds, 2 assists from Kenyon Martin Jr. Alprin Seguin, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists from Jabari Smith. The rest of the team finished Bonjak Bogdanovic, Boban Marovic, 7 points, one rebound. Trevor Hudgens didn't record anything in his 4 minutes of play. Darius Day, 6 points, one rebound, one assist for Frank Kaminsky. Usman Garuba, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Josh Christopher, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 4 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 1.8 assists from Terry Easton and Jashawn Tate, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 6 points on the night. For the 76ers, they were led by James Harden's 28 points, 10 assists, and 2 rebounds, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds to Tyrese Maxey as the guards put in work. Joel Embiid, 23.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 11.6 rebounds from Tobias Harris, 6.3 rebounds from George Dane, Paul Reed, 6.3 rebounds, 4 points from Montreal Harrell, 1 rebound from Daniel House. Shake Milton contribute with 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, as well as Jaden McDaniels, 8 points, 3 assists, and 5 rebound. Alton, lastly, Anthony Melton, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, as the 76ers get the win 123 to 104. And the beat goes on. The Miami Heat faced off against the Denver Nuggets in Miami, in which Miami didn't have enough. Taking the L, the Heat did have production. Jimmy Butler, double-double, 24 points, 10 rebounds, just 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Max Strus, 23.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Bam Adebayo, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists from Gabe Vincent. Jamari Bouye, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists from Hayward Highsmith, and Orlando Robinson contributed with 6 points, 6 rebounds, as the Heat were pretty short-handed. For the Knicks, Nikola Jokic, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists on the night, 17.6 rebounds for Michael Porter Jr. Kansar with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist from Jeff Green. Thomas Bryant, newly acquired, contributed with 10 points, 2 rebounds. Ish Smith, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Jeff Reed, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Christian Braun, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Bruce Brown, 16, 2 and 3 as well. And lastly, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope contributed with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, all in the winning effort. With the win, the Nuggets improved to 40 and 18, and the Heat dropped to 32 and 26, just 4 games out of becoming 500. So they got to get in there, got to do the work to keep their head above water in the East. That is a very contentious area. Getting to the second half of the schedule, the New York Knicks take care of business, knocking off the Brooklyn Nets about a score of 124 to 106. The Nets, led by Spencer Dinwiddie's 28 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Cameron Johnson. Nick Claxton contributed with 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. 9 points apiece from Day'Ron Sharpe and Dorian Finney-Smith as he walks him into the offense. Mikal Bridges, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Royce Neal, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Joe Harris, 3 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists from Day'Ron Sharpe. And Ben Simmons contributed in 13 minutes of play, 2 rebounds, 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. For the Knicks, another 40-piece on the night. Jalen Brunson, 40 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists from newly acquired Josh Hart, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists from Julius Randle. RJ Barrett contributed 4 points and 1 rebound, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists from Emmanuel Quickly. Isaiah Harrison contributed with 8 points, 2 points from Obi Toppin, 1 from Miles McBride. If you count him up, it was 124 for the win. With the win, the Knicks increased to 32 and 27 on the year. Brooklyn falls to 33 and 24, but more basketball to be played. Of course, the All-Star break coming up at the end of this week. so they'll get a little rest and get ready to get back at it. Where a team that definitely needs some rest, as the Chicago Bulls faced off against the Orlando Magic last night, in which late in the fourth quarter they lost their All-Star guard DeMar DeRozan, or All-Star forward DeMar DeRozan, late in the fourth, as he walked off with a hampering calf injury, I believe, or quad injury. Um, in which, for the most part, Zach LaVine had to do all the heavy lifting, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 19.3 rebounds, 6 assists from DeMar DeRozan before he left the game, 13 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist from Nikola Vucevic, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, Kobe White, Ayo Damasu, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, Nikola Vucevic, I was about to say, Patrick Williams, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 6.7 rebounds from Andre Drummond, 2 points, 1 assist, Goran Dragic, 1.1 rebound from Derek Jones and Dalen Talley, 4 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist, all in their losing effort. For the Magic, they was led by Paolo Banchero's 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 18 points apiece. 18 points apiece from Markel Fultz and Franz Wagner. Wagner with 33 rebounds, 3 assists. Markel Fultz 10 rebounds and 1 assist shy of his triple double, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists from Gary Harris. Jalen Suggs, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Morris Wagner, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Bo, 5 points, 2 rebounds from Galen Houston, and Jonathan Isaac with 4 points in 13 minutes as he continues to build on his playing time. Of course, it's going to make it a little easier with Bo Bamba in LA now. Opens up the door a little more for those bigs to get onto the court. Additionally, the Pelicans playing without their star in Zion Wilson, but getting things taken care of as they get the 103-100 win over the OKC Thunder. With the loss, OKC drops to 27-29. Thunder's improved to 30-28. The Thunder, in their losing effort, led by 24 points, 10 rebound, 5 assists out from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jalen Williams contributed with 22.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 17.7 rebounds, 4 assists from Josh Giddey, 16.3 rebounds from Isaac Joe, 3 points apiece from Aaron Wiggins and Lindy Waters. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 3 points as well. Jalen Williams, 1.2 assists, and Lou Dort, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 6 points, and 1 assist on the night. For the Pelicans, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Brandon Ingram, 14 points apiece from Jonas Valanciunas and Jose Alvarado, 10 points from Josh Richardson, 2 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with that. 4 points apiece from Najee Marshall and Larry Nance Jr. Kyra Lewis Jr. contributed with 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Trey Murphy, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And Herb Jones, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, all in a winning effort as the Pelicans improved to 30-28 on the year. Just 3 more games to go. The Minnesota Timberwolves and Luka, Kyrie, and company roll to their home court, ready to take on the Timberwolves, in which it wasn't the greatest of homecomings. Anthony Edwards, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 12 points apiece from Mike Conley Jr. and Kyle Anderson. 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Conley, 9 assists and 3 rebounds. 21 points, 14 rebounds, and 1 assist from Rudy Gobert. Jaden Daniels, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists for Teron Prince. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Naz Reid. 7 points, 3 rebounds from Jalen Noel and Jordan McLaughlin. 2 points. Austin Rivers, 2 points. In their winning efforts for the Mavericks, 36 points from Kyrie Irving, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 33 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists from Luka Doncic, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists from Christian Wood. As we know, that is the 3-headed monster in Dallas now. Reggie Bullock, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists from Josh Green, 2 points. Jaden Hardy, 3 points, 1 rebound from Frank Talinka. JaVale McGee contributed with 1 rebound and 1 minute to play. Theo Pinson, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. As the Mavericks fall yet again, this time to the Timberwolves, which puts them just a half a game in front of the Timberwolves in the West. 31-29 for the Timberwolves, 31-28 for the Mavericks. It's getting tight. Question Cornelius SCC asked, was Pop really that good of a coach, or has it been the players? So when you look at the season, in my opinion, is Pop has been contributed. He's a contributor because even though he's not, because I mean he has a serviceable player in Keldon Johnson, but it's not enough. Keldon Johnson is enough compared to what the rest of the team is. So I guess it was hand in hand. It had to be the players too. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Avery Johnson, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green. Of course, he's had other players, Robert Ory, Smitty. So maybe it was the players for the CC. I think it potentially could have been the players. Maybe the players was the reason for the season for Pop, getting all those wins, and now he's not effective enough, or he's just not has enough to be competitive in the league now. Maybe his ways of teaching and stuff have gone. Maybe he needs to be a little more proactive and get some new schemes and stuff to be proficient. So I think it would be it's easy to say that it probably was that. Well, they've made they had made a playoff, at least one, after the fact, since Kawhi left. They just went to playoffs last year, and they went. I think they went once while DeMar was still there. So, but definitely a division dwelling team at this point. Another game took for us 2 more games out west. The Golden State Warriors faced off, hosted the Washington Wizards, in which they do get the W 135-126. The Wizards, tried it. Kristaps Porzingis, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Bradley Beal, 33 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. 13 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists from newly secured Kendrick Nunn. DeLon Wright, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists from Denny Adjava. Monte Morris, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Daniel Gafford, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on the night. Corey Kispert, 4 points, 1 rebound. 6 points, 1 rebound from Anthony Gill. And Quentin Johnson, 2 points, 3 rebounds. 2 points as in the losing effort. The Warriors are all out concerted effort from all the players last night for the most part. Led by Andrew Wiggins, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. 27 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists from Klay Thompson. 17 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists from Dante DiVincenzo. 14 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists from Michael Green. 7 points, 2 rebound assists from Jonathan Kuminga. Moses Moody, 1.2 rebounds. Draymond Green, 4.6 rebound, 6 assists. Kevin Looney, a double-double, 13 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Jordan Poole, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. As the Warriors get the W 135-126, improving to 29-28, just one game above 500. 26-30 for the Washington Wizards as they look to get to 500 before the break. But it probably won't happen. Not enough games. And last but not least, the Los Angeles Lakers traveled to the Trailblazers home to take on the Portland Trailblazers, in which Dame had a different ideal of how things would go. Of course, Dame dropping the 40-piece on the Lakers, 40 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Contributions from Anthony Simons, 14 rebounds, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. 14.6 rebounds, 2 assists from Matisse Thybulle. Offensive game from Matisse Thybulle. You should have known that it was about to be a bad night for the Lakers. 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist from Nasir Little. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists from Shaden Sharp. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists from Cam Reddish. Drew Eubanks contributed with 6 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. Ryan Archisacano, 7 minutes, no recorded points. Keon Johnson, 1 assist, 2 points. Kevin Knox, the second, 4 points, 2 rebounds. And Trendon Walker, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Jabari Walker, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And in their winning effort, the Lakers still without LeBron James as he continues to rest a nagging foot injury. Lakers led by Anthony Davis, 19 points, 20 rebounds, 1 assist, 22 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist for newly acquired Malik Beasley, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, D'Angelo Russell, 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists from Troy Brown, Dennis Schroeder, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 8.7 rebounds, 1 assist from Rod Hachimura, Troy Brown, 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Austin Reeves, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Jarrett Vanderbilt, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Lonnie Walker, the fourth, 8 rebounds, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 7.7 rebounds, 2 assists. Wayne Gabriel, Max Christie, 2 points, as well as David Reed, 2 points with 1 assist apiece, 1 rebound for Reed, 2 rebounds for Christie, all in the losing effort. Almost a blowout by 15 points. Lakers fall currently 6 games below 500 as the Portland Trail Blazers sit at 1 game below 500. As we look at tonight's games, the Boston Celtics will do battle in Milwaukee in the with the Bucks. The Toronto Raptors face off against the Orlando Magic in Toronto. The Los Angeles Clippers will host the Golden State Warriors in Los Angeles. The Portland Trail Blazers in the back-to-back host the Washington Wizards. And the Phoenix Suns will host the hot-streaking Sacramento Kings. Before this tomorrow's final games that with the 10-game slate in which we'll talk about tomorrow. Currently in the standings as we remains still in the East, Boston is riding high with a 1.5 point game lead over the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks have an opportunity to close that gap tonight with the win. The 76ers at third place. Cavaliers at fourth, the fifth, the Brooklyn Nets to sixth, the Miami Heat. And then when you look at the play-in, you have the Knicks at 7, Hawks at 8, Raptors at 9, the Wizards at 10. The Wizards just 14.5 games behind. The Celtics still 5 games behind the Heat for the 6th seed. The Bulls remain a half game behind the Wizards and Raptors to get into that 9th or 10th seed. And then the Knicks are just a half game behind the Heat to fall into that 6th seed. Of course, in the Western Conference, the Nuggets 5 games above the Grizzlies at the 2nd seed. At number 3, the Kings. 4, the Suns. 5, the Mavericks. 6, the Clippers. 7, the Pelicans. 8, the Timberwolves. 9th, the Warriors. And 10th, the Jazz. The Lakers are currently 13th, sitting just 3.5 games. Correction, 2.5 games out of the 10th seed, which puts them 3.5 games out of the 6th seed, 14 games out of the leading West first seed. Still anyone's game in the West for the most part. Still a possibility as we get closer. 2 more days of action before the break is given for the NBA, which of course then will last until the 16th of February before they start back up again. Of course, additionally, when you look at transactions, Justin Holiday had his buyout approved by the Houston Rockets, in which the expectations is that he will take on the slot in which Terrence Ross was supposed to be and move on to bolster the Mavericks backcourt. So Justin Holiday to the Mavericks most likely after a buyout in Houston, as reported by Brian Windhorst. Ben Simmons is expected to take some time, not time off, but just take some time getting back to a certain way in playing. As of course now he is the top name or one of the top names with the Brooklyn organization. Now is his opportunity to take on that role and be productive. Of course, his numbers last night, they can speak to that. He did lead the game early, only played 13 minutes. Jay Crowder finally traded, of course, expected to make his debut after the All-Star break in Milwaukee, as was traded to Boston. I mean, he was traded to Milwaukee after the trade to Brooklyn. Still no timetable on Steph Curry, nor there's a timetable on Gary Payton II, as he's expected to be out a month as he recovers from an abdominal strain. Steph Curry, no timetable when he'll come back. Of course, I'm very sure that as long as they keep a steady pace in the West, that they're not looking to get him back anytime soon or trying to rush him from coming back. So, of course, a little bit of time earlier. Got some formations to get to, of course, for myself. A little work to do. So cutting out a little early. I greatly appreciate y'all tapping in. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a Bishop signing. Maybe not. Maybe we have more to talk about Derek Carr. Maybe more ideas of where he'll be heading. More NBA action. Start to get into the NCAA action and look in to see what we have here. The top ones, as Alabama leads, is number one in the men's side. Of course, South Carolina for the women, as they did knock off LSU this past weekend convincingly to secure their number one spot in the women's. So, of course, plenty more to talk about. It's your boy Trey. I'll simply be tapping in with y'all tomorrow. Enjoy your day. It's Valentine's Day, the day of love, even though y'all should be loving on each other each and every day. But this particular day has a theme to it, so go out and show love to those loved ones. Until then, greatly appreciate y'all tapping in. I'll holler at y'all. One.